Another cup of coffee. That's how they'll line up, at least the top 20 of them for this record field of 35 cars coming to the grid, 36 as we start at the weekend. The green flag is in the air, the 45-minute start as they cross the stripe, which they do right now. And we're underway. And straight away, that is Bashura in the wall and Wagner. This is a huge one right at the start. There's half the field, three-quarters of the field have gone into each other. Full course caution will have to come out. It may be a red flag here. And I think only Nate Cicero got away from that. It was Gresham Wagner from the outside of the front row and Alex Bashura from the inside of row 2 who got together and slewed up the track. Ren Messinger, I think, has got through, but there's a huge conflagration. Must be nearly a dozen cars that are in trouble at the start of the grid. Not what we wanted to see. We'll pick out some of the numbers, but it's at least half the field here as the AMR safety crew are on the scene already. They were getting up to speed, not up to speed at that point.
And the problem is that it started off with the first 2 cars in line. Nate Cicero, who moved over at no fault of his own. Gresham Wagner then getting into Alex Bashura, both cars who had been on the top side. Bashura gets a nudge from behind.
Yeah, absolutely right. It was a great start by Nate Cicero from pole position, and he was clear of it all, which actually meant that Gresham Wagner and Alex Bashura were together, although they didn't start on the same row of the grid. Yeah, it was a little touch from the inside of the, was that red drivers milling about?
Parker DeLong is getting out of the car on his own. Gresham Wagner is, his car is there. I do not know if he is still in that car. I know his mom and dad are here. His mom's always listening to us. Justin Adekona says damage to the front end of his car. Farhan Siddiqui is out of the number 95 machine. We've got Frankie Barroso also involved. His car, number 76, is still stationary at that part of the circuit. And we've also got Glenn McGee stopped further up as well. It's a lot of cars as they are coming through the pit lane. Yeah,
I think that's intensely sensible. I think I saw Sally Mott just pulling away and going round turn 1. So yes, she will have the opportunity. Minutes, 16.5 minutes as we go back green. And it's a nice restart once again. Once again, Elio in second place, just right on the bumper of the car ahead as the top 4 have broken away. The red-white car of Jared Thomas in 4th position hugs the inside curb. Side by side further back, Ren Messinger and Bobby Cossett trying to get back onto the front end, and now side by side on the restart going down into the International Horseshoe. The 2 darker coloured cars are on the outside. That's Bailey Cruz, Elio Mesa in the blue and white number 27.
Ooh,
and it's going to be a drive-through for that incident responsibility at the start of the race for that number 27 car.
That is very harsh for Elio Mesa, the rookie coming into this weekend, but he was the car that got into the back of Alex Bashura, ultimately beginning all of the chaos. Spinning off in the middle of the grass is Ethan Tyler in the number 80 machine for BSI. He was running in very close company with Grant West, also in a blue car. Tyler dropping down to 18th position. Elio Mesa going to drop down to the back of the pack at this one. He was one of 2 rookies in the first group on the restart, one of 4 rookies in the top 6 on the restart.
Cicero then leading out now. Right up his tailpipes is the number 96, the red and white car.
Jared Thomas.
Half a second it was timed at the last timing point. It's not half an inch at the moment. And Cruz right in behind them now. Was there a little bit of help? Yes, there was.
But that was self-induced.
Yeah.
Ethan Tyler was on the inside. He was squeezing the corner down, and Grant West had nowhere else to go. He was on the outside, but he had a right to be.
Train as they went across the line. Jeremy Fletcher, Burris and that's the 13 of Western Workman, who's right in there as well. He's not in the fight here, but he could influence the result.
And Todd Burris is P2. After all that, Todd Burris is up into the top 2. This is a man who used to race Mazdas. He was in the series for a very long time, about 10 years ago. He's back, and he's looking at potentially winning this.
There's some big movers at the sharp end of the field, no more so than Jeremy Fletcher, who's come from 26th position. Nathan Nicholson from 31st is currently in 6th. I suspect that could change before the end of the race. And what about the 10th place car? That started in 30th position. We've got Peter Atwater in 14th from 33rd, and still Ashland Speed and Carolyn Candace, they've swapped positions again. They started 34th and 35th. They're in 16th and 17th position. That was courtesy of 17 cars going out of the race at the drop of the green flag. But some absolutely outstanding driving to avoid the accident, and that's why we've got so many big movers.
We have 20 cars that are remaining on the lead lap and 15 that are running within 8 seconds of one another. That means 15 cars could potentially win this race. Keep an eye on Julian DaCosta, who's running P15th. Last year he was swallowed up at the checkered flag. Could be different this year.
Weston Workman leads the line but does not lead the race. He's taken a lap back from those behind him, but it's the battle behind that's important. And down on the inside, Jared Thomas gets a brilliant run out of the Le Mans chicane.
Watch Cicero.
This is not going to be over yet. Big bump on the leader as they come on the low side. Cicero was hung out to dry a little bit. He got a good run but didn't have a dancing partner. Now they come up to the back of Weston Workman. The checkered flag is in hand. Is it going to be Thomas? Is it going to be Burris? Messenger, I think, is just a little bit out of it. Is the dive on the inside underneath the yellow line as they go across the line. It's Thomas by the barest of margins. A classic Whelen Mazda MX-5 Cup finish, with Jared Thomas taking it from Todd Burris, JTR from AAG, McCunley Racing's rookie Ren Messenger, who ran at the front of the field all day, is on the 3rd step of the box. Nathan Nicholson from so far down is in 4th position, started outside the top 30. Jagger Jones gets another to St. Petersburg at the last weekend of February, heading into March. Jared Thomas, the unofficial results as it stands at the moment, will stand on the top step of the podium and go to Mobile One victory lane. Todd Burris and Ren Messinger make up the other steps. Ren, the best of the rookies, magnificent drive for him. He was in the fight all day at the qualified high and stayed in that front battle. Further down the field, there's some great stories there, and Ashland Speed eventually gets the decision over Caroline Candace. They both came up from 34th and 35th. Everybody behind that had problems. 17 cars involved in the big one at the start of the race, and there's some big names who have not scored well today. I'm not even certain how we decide the finishing order of those cars that didn't get down to turn 1. Is that the starting order as they cross